In this video, we are going to take a look at our garden. We're going to show you how the Mennonite farmer and I work really hard to grow lots of vegetables in our 3,200 square foot garden. We're going to take a look at what things work for us every year and what things are new in this garden this year.
It's a garden. You're gonna see weeds. You gonna plant it?
It's a weed. Okay. This year we are growing white potatoes and yellow potatoes, and I think the white are Kennebecs. Kennebecs are amazing for French fries. Absolutely amazing. And they store great in the cellar. They had a slow start this year because Pennsylvania had a late frost and that just stunted them, but they're looking great now. Most of these potatoes were bought seed potatoes, but usually we keep our potatoes that we don't eat during the winter, and we just replant them for low cost savings. And our onions are Walla Wallas, which are great stores, and Texas yellow onions. We more or less buy our plants and not bulbs, but this year Howard decided, since the plants weren't doing so well, to buy some bulbs, and all of it's doing great now, except they had a bad start because of the colder weather in May and April. And we usually plant our potatoes around Easter. My grandparents always did it that way and have great success. We're using old straw floor bales slices to mulch and suppress our weeds. It works most of the time, but weed pulling is always evident in a garden. We're growing carrots again this year, and carrots need lots of water in the beginning to get germinated. You always want to thin your carrots, but we never seem to do. We plant Davers 126. They're a big, thick carrot, and they do very well for us. This year, we planted 8 green bell peppers. I think they're called National. Then we have our red night red peppers, and we've got 4 of those. And we also have 4 yellow peppers. So we have 20 plants. And I'm thinking, what was I grabbing? But there's always red pepper soup. There's always pickling peppers. And you can always put them in the freezer or dehydrate them. I usually like to dehydrate them and put them in soups that way, and chili. So that is our game plan for our peppers. Let's talk tomatoes. If you know me well enough, you know I'm very passionate about growing tomatoes. And this year is the first year, and I don't know how many years, that we're not planting more than 50 tomato plants. We grow them from heirloom seeds. We collect them every year after we're done canning and save them for the next year. I could probably tell you each one of these tomato plants, what variety they are, and which ones we love and which ones we don't love. We're kidding. We don't plant ones that we don't love, especially for 50 tomato plants. We start these indoors right about mid-April, so they're not lengthy at all when we plant them in late May. Our frost date's May 15th, and this year it was still cold at May 15th. So these got planted 3 weeks ago, maybe July or June 1st. And the first couple here, they're giant crimson, and my gardener's famous tomato plants, and they are huge compared to the rest of them. I also have tomato from Monticello that we went to on our honeymoon. They are Purton's Purple. They are a 2-pound tomato as well, and they are great for salsa. And back there we have opicas. They are as big as a cow's heart as well, since I'm trying to breed them that way. And since, they crossbreed when they're heirloom, you get bigger and bigger tomatoes. Then we have what I call Benny Peachy tomatoes, because a man named Benny Peachy gave me 3 of his tomatoes, and they're very long and cylinder-like, and they peel wonderfully after they're blanched and have very little seeds in them. I love them for canning and juicing and sauce and everything. And then my husband, when we had 2 holes come available because they croaked, he went and bought some celebrities at the local food farm stand. And we have really heavy cages we make from fencing. This was left over from an old fence line at our neighbor's. So he brought it home, cut the wire, then bent to one side and hooked it around to the other. And we have cages that are strong enough for these tomatoes because they'll get above 6 feet with the amount of nutrition that's in this soil. Like, we can't grow cages tall enough or something. We have T-posts every other one and tied the cages together because we have a lot of wind in this area. So come back in 2 months and we'll go to town canning. I guess we should cut this. We have very nice broccoli this year, and as if you can tell if you're a gardener, it needs cut. So as soon as we're done with this filming, we are going to be hacking and whacking and steaming and packaging this nice broccoli for the winter. We also have cauliflower that needs to form a head yet, and some head lettuce that we haven't eaten yet, and 6 nice cabbages that are forming their heads. Our garlic is almost ready to harvest, and that'll be exciting to cure and get back on the shelf. I'm still using last year's, and we have a 35-foot row of garlic ready to be harvested. We planted late fall before the frost, and now it's ready almost in July. We have a row of cucumbers, and you know what that means. Lime pickles and any other pickle that I love is going to be canned in a couple weeks. We have a couple cattle panels or hog panels, whatever you want to call them, tied to some T-posts for them to climb up on. And in the middle here we have some leaf lettuce that's going to soon be eaten in salads. I have 5 different kinds of cucumbers that I don't know off the top of my head, but they are canning cucumbers. Then we have 4 rows of sweet corn that obviously needs cultivated and be really good late August. We have 2 rows of yellow wax beans, 2 rows of strike green beans, and then we have a row of red kidney beans that I decided to pick up on a whim and not know how I was planting it, but they seem to be doing fine, or maybe even 2 rows. Then with the last row is navy beans. So we're going to try our hand at canning those from a raw standpoint and not dried, because I just don't like the texture of dried beans canned. I think the texture is too yucky. But from a fresh point, I think we'll actually enjoy them. Because I did horticulture beans, which are pinto beans, a few years ago, and they were wonderful in the jar. And then lastly, we have rhubarb that I started from seed last fall, and it survived our nasty winter and is doing wonderful. I started with 23 plants, and now we're down to 14 because of the winter, but I was just able to pick my first harvest this week, and I am very proud of it. The fact that I'm doing something all by myself and no farmer. I finally decided in my old age that I was going to plant horseradish just because my husband loves horseradish. I, on the other hand, don't care for it, but since we always have beef on hand, I'm going to have to start growing it. And also, I would like to try to can seafood cocktail sauce, and one of the ingredients is horseradish. So we're going to try to have that on hand. Not this row. Why did I pick this row to come down? And if you've been around the channel a couple years now, you know I am starting to enjoy growing dahlias for cut flowers just for myself and my friends. And this side of the garden, I bought tubers from a online store. Big actually grows them in Holland and ships them over here. And I learned my lesson. Don't buy from those websites. Buy from farmers, small flower farmers that take great pride in their tubers. I'm excited for this one. That is a Sherwood Peach dinner plate dahlia. I forget what these two are. And I'm pretty sure these are the Rancho. They are a decorative ball that is a rich orange color. And I bought some mystery tubers from a lady up in Michigan, Wren Stems. And one of these is from my church sister who has a flower farm. And their farm's called Inspiring Blooms. And I bought a Cornell bronze from her, I believe. And I know I have little Scotties. They're a little yellow bulb, and iced tea and ice cube. We're going to be excited for those as well. And I'm learning to pinch them off so they get more stems on them. So we'll be showing you more of the dahlias come late summer. I can't remember which ones I've pinched and which I haven't pinched.
This one you did.
Huh? You
This
can tell
one
I
you
did
did.
that one. That one I did. The straw mulch that we're using in the garden, when it decomposes and at the end of the harvest, we'll be able to till it into the ground and make the garden soil looser. There we go. That's the word. Squirrel moment. It'll be looser for us in the spring. So working with the straw will be a benefit not only for weed control and green manure, as my husband would call it, it's also going to make our soil looser for future years. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see how it grows the rest of the summer and how I process this 32 square foot garden, subscribe and keep watching, folks. I appreciate you. God bless. And remember, God gave you a great day. Now go do something great. If you made it to the end of this video and you enjoy the content, I had a brain fart. All right, let's start over.